There is good news and there is bad news. The bad news is that we are in the middle of another drought. And being in the middle of another drought means that we have got some plants that are going to die in 13 days if they don't get water. The good news, or the two bits of good news, well, the drought is only going to last another 2.8 days, so my plants are going to be okay, and all of the construction is now done, which is absolutely fantastic. And being in the middle of a drought is actually going to stop any production down this way. So we're not going to see any more planks, we're not going to see any more gears, but we are going to see some more wood coming in, because just looking at some of the numbers, I don't know if this maple tree is going to grow in time for the drought ending, but we do have a few pine trees around here doing quite nicely, and these trees over here are coming along really nicely as well. So we should have a pretty good harvest coming up in the near future when it comes to things like logs, which is very exciting because I have some construction plans. I kind of want to go ahead and I kind of want to increase the population kind of considerably, because I'm thinking that something we can do is click on the district center and we can migrate the population. So if we grow the population here, we can essentially split it at some point into a second district. And I've talked about it before. I've talked about wanting to build like an industrial type district up this way. So I think that would be a pretty cool idea. Although I do want the population here first. So it's not going to be something we do for a little bit, but I still think it would be a pretty cool idea. I've also realized that if I really wanted to, I could potentially, or potentially not, I wonder. I could potentially set up some of this space up here to have more housing on top of it, but I don't think I'm going to grow this space here. I'm looking at this and trying to figure out how I would put more houses up there, but also keep the shrub. And I don't think I can. I don't think there is a way to do that. I think the best we could do is, yeah, nothing. There's not really anything we could do there. It's fine. We don't need to change any of this. It does fine as it is. And I think in terms of housing, honestly, we could start looking into things like double lodges where we can have 6 inhabitants, or triple lodges with 9 inhabitants. Wouldn't be a terrible idea. But I also want to look into other power options, because as it stands right now, I feel like we should get some windmills. Now, they don't run all the time. I've actually used windmills in another save already, but they would at least give us an option for power when there's no water moving. But on the flip side of that, if we're going to increase the population, which I do want to do, maybe the best thing to do would be use some of the 711 science points that we have to get a grist mill and also get a bakery. And if we get both of those things, now they're both going to need power, which is going to be, it's tricky, maybe. I don't know how tricky it's necessarily going to be because we have some options for power. But my thinking would be that we get the grist mill and we put it, maybe over here. We get the bakery, we put it next to it. And basically we start moving all of the wheat that we're growing into the grist mill. We start turning it into flour and we start going ahead and getting ourselves some bread. I mean, we're doing very well in terms of food already, but we could be doing better, right? We could always be doing better in terms of food. So it's tempting. I've got to be honest. It's very, very tempting to do a little something else with the old food. And actually looking at the entire setup around here, I wonder if I could be a bit cheeky, because I don't imagine this little section of road gets used too often. So if I have a look at the mill and we look at how it's oriented, so the door is there. So how would I put it around here? I could put it sort of there. And that wouldn't be, oh, if I could put it like, oh, right there would be perfect. Okay, now that, if we can do that, that would work out really nicely. So let me go and say that I want to demolish these guys here, and I also want to demolish you. And I guess we could probably go ahead and demolish this little section of path right about there as well. And what I can do with that actually is probably replace the 1 bit of carrot that we're losing with 2 more right there. So that'll kind of work out for us. We'll go ahead and prioritize this to make sure those are gone. And then what I should be able to do is go ahead into food production, get the mill, place it right about there, and just throw a nice little path right in front of it. And then all we need to do, now this isn't going to work amazingly because we are very limited in terms of what I can do with power. But if I do this right here, and I mean, if I really wanted to, I could get the windmills. I guess we get them. I guess it's not the worst idea in the world. The thing with these is that they're not huge, but they do need a little bit of space, obviously, behind them, and they need some space away from each other. So, I wonder. Let's try a little something here. Let me go and say I want to mark these resources for demolition, and I want to go ahead and prioritize all of that to get those out of there as quickly as we can. Because my thinking is I might be able to dot some windmills kind of nicely across this line. And they're not going to work amazingly. I mean, so I can't put one there and there, right? They need to be, I think, 2 tiles apart from each other. So I'm going to have to space these. I want them to look even, so I'm going to have to do this. And then once this one goes, I'll put another one there. But at the very least, I mean, I can do that. And that wouldn't be terrible, honestly. That wouldn't be terrible. I'd have to do some platforms to bring the power around. But maybe that's what we do. And then over on this side, we can kind of do that. Honestly, 5 of them is probably enough. They each generate 120 horsepower, so I think 5 will do just fine. And then what we'll do is put the shaft T intersections right in there. We can go and do this, and actually leaving the gap either side of this was smart. I didn't do that on purpose, but we kind of, oh, you're kidding me. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. So I actually can't do this because it would be blocking the windmills. Okay. I wonder, can I be a little bold? Can I be a little bold and do this? So get rid of that path and then run a power line underneath. Can I do some stairs? I can. So we're going to do it this way, which is a little backwards maybe, but at least it works and it lets us just run the power lines straight under there. And then what we're going to do is we'll go in, we're going to delete this, and we're just going to run the power lines sort of straight around all of this kind of messy little corner right there. And that should work. That should work just fine. It's going to be a lot of resources. It's actually a lot of planks for all of these. It's a lot of logs for all of these, and that's kind of why having these harvests coming up is going to be important, but it should give us a whole bunch of power. Now, eventually, a lot of this is going to have to be moved, because obviously the plan was to get ourselves sort of an industrial district up this way at some point, but for now, I think this is fine. For now, I think this works out, and we could actually go ahead and get some decorations down here if we wanted to. We can improve the aesthetics. We could get some benches down here. We've got some statues down here we could play with. I mean, there's a lot of things, honestly. And looking at it, actually, another campfire probably wouldn't be a bad idea just in general. So what about, where would we put a campfire? I mean, everyone's living up this way. I can't put it under there, but I could just go... I could go right about there. Or we could do 2 of them. Something like that, just as a nice area for people to kind of chill. I kind of like that. I think it works out. We got all of the... Oh, look at this. Look at all these going in. I think this is actually gonna look really cool if these happen to run. If they don't, it's gonna be a pain, but I think it's gonna look kind of cool. As long as this one actually gets built. Which for some reason... Wait, it's too far from builders. Oh, no. Oh. You know what that means? We need to get rid of you. And then this one will now get built. There we go. And then what we do is put this one right there. We want to prioritize it. And it'll get built in absolutely no time at all. And now thinking about it, so you don't have a road connection right now. That's a little bit annoying. Can we maybe prioritize this as well? Because this is going to need planks. This is absolutely going to need planks. But it's kind of a big deal that that path actually gets reconnected as soon as it possibly can. That's definitely kind of the most important bit of construction we have going on right now. But I will say that once this is up and going, the next thing we need really is going to be the bakery. And the bakery, I mean, it can kind of go anywhere, but I feel like it should be up near storage. So I feel like the bakery could honestly go like here. Or, I mean, we could do 2 of them if we wanted to, but I think just one of them up towards the massive storage area is probably for the best. So let's just go ahead and do it. We'll just do one right there. And honestly, sitting by a campfire with the smell of fresh baked bread would probably be kind of amazing. So I'm all right with that. I mean, yes, it's a little bit far away from the mill, but that's why we have the hauling post right here. Because in theory, it should mean that the haulers are doing most of the item moving. Because something I've learned is that each of these buildings actually has an efficiency. And efficiency, as far as I'm aware, is dictated by how far does the worker have to go to get materials. So if we have haulers that are moving materials, that shouldn't be an issue. That's my thinking anyway. Whether or not it actually works out, I don't know, but that would be my thinking. I'm also thinking that maybe prioritizing the windmills would be a bit of an idea over the... Oh, the building's done. All right, then. Well, I mean, fair enough. It's not getting enough power. We're currently drawing 400 horsepower. We only have 360, but at the very least, this thing will make a little bit of flour, which means we should see eventually a little bit of bread, which is neat. That's good. That's kind of what we wanted. I think having a really good amount of food is going to be important for growing the population. We have maxed it out, by the way. We're at 42 adults and 0 children. We have 42 houses available as well. So actually, it might not be a bad idea. It might not be a bad idea to look into more of it. Now, things like double lodges and triple lodges, I don't know. Let's unlock the triple lodge, right? So it is a, what is it? A 3x2 structure, which is decent. It's a 3x2 structure. It can hold, what, 9 people? So it's a 3x2 structure that can hold 9 people. In that same space, we'd be able to hold, what, 3 and 3, 6. So essentially 9 people. Yeah, so this is kind of just maximizing, I don't know, it's doing something with space. Okay. Now, the interesting thing with this is that I could just build it right there and it's immediately going to connect to the raised section of path that we have. I could do another one over here that will also connect right there, which is not a bad thing at all. So we could start sort of slapping things together a little bit, but I don't know that I want to do that. Although if I put one there, I could also put one there. And that might actually, that wouldn't be a terrible idea, I don't think. So, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do this. And let me do a little something with some paths here. So this guy's going to come around like that. And then this guy is going to be extended like that. And what I'm thinking I also kind of want to do is actually bring this path back a little bit. Because we could, if we wanted to, go into leisure. And we could put a rooftop terrace up there. Which honestly wouldn't be awful. To be honest, I think it'd be nice to give these guys something kind of, well, nice in you know, the area where they're living, but I don't know, it might be too much. Because here's the thing, we could stack these further if we wanted to. I mean, how much for the double one? So the double one's 150. Let's get the double one and see what it is. So the double one's a very similar concept, and actually the double one could go right. Oh, it can't go right there. It could go there. We could do that. That actually, ooh. That would be interesting, actually. Hold on a minute. So if I was to put you there, I could, in theory, do this, right? And then we could, in theory, this might look kind of ugly. This is going to look kind of ugly, but I'm curious to see what this ends up looking like. So that would give us access up there, which is good. And then what we could potentially do is another triple lodge right there. Is that a bit too much? That seems like too much. But at the same time, I mean, it does work, doesn't it? Right? So it works. We do a staircase right there. It leads straight up to the lodge. It's a little crazy looking. But my thinking is... I said that very Forrest Gump there, didn't I? My thinking is we could then do some, like, shrubs in here. Right? So we could do a couple of shrubs. But we could also do a roof. And make this sort of, like... a bit weird, but also kind of interesting looking. I don't hate this. I'm also realizing a little something else I could do. Hold on. If I take you out of there and I take, well, I need that staircase regardless, but let's say it's gone for a second. Take, you know, let's see. Let me, oh man, I'm getting a little carried away here. I'm sorry. Right. Yeah, no, I do have a bit of an idea. Because here's the thing with those double lodges, right? The door is on the right side. So if I do, like, a few of these guys, right, the whole way across there, yes, I'm going to need some platforms for people to get into the lodges. But I can do a bunch of them there. I can actually get this little single lodge. It's a, like, 1x2, so it would fit in that little space. But let's say we do this, right? We bring this platform over. We'll sort of fill up the entire space because we can. It's a lot of resources, but it's okay. What we can do is something very similar to the verticality that I talked about before. Because we bring this path all the way over, we connect it up to all of the doors, and then we go ahead and we grab the, not that lodge, the mirrored lodge, right? And then the door for the mirrored lodge is on the other side. So we just need to go and put in some staircases, and we've now kind of nicely stacked up a bunch of housing. I mean, yes, it's just a giant wall, and yes, it's right next to a factory, but I kind of like it. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like it. I think it's kind of cool. And it actually has me really tempted to make the factory like go on top of these, because I think that would be cool as well. Just having the bread factory like on top of some buildings for some reason. It would just be really far away from everything, and I don't think that's going to be great for us. But at the same time, I think it would be kind of great. I've got to be honest. I really do. I think it would be kind of cool. Plus, we can do a little something like this, like bring the path sort of out and around, so we now have like a loop going on there. I think it would be cool. Actually, ooh, if we really wanted to, we could do some platforms there. We can demolish you, and then the bread factory, the bakery, the bakery could go there if we wanted it to. Bread factory, bloody bread factory. I love the idea of it being on top of this building though, which it very well could be, actually. It could go right there, and we could just have a little staircase that leads up to it. I think that would be cool. I really do. I don't think it makes any sense whatsoever. We could put it all the way down here as well, and have like a path that leads down to it for some reason. I like that idea. I'm going to do that. It's so stupid. It's not going to be good for productivity, but I think it's going to look kind of interesting, so I'm going to do it. Let me do that. Let me do a path that goes the whole way down the top of those buildings, which means all of those buildings need to be built before we can make bread. That's completely destroys any sense of productivity that I had going there, but it's going to let us get so many more beavers, and I think it's going to look kind of cool. And also having all this space now kind of open is going to let us put a bunch of shrubs up there. I don't think these guys at the end will get the benefit of it, but at the very least we can do one there, there, and there. And that looks all right. And then in terms of other things, we could get like benches if we wanted to. I don't really want to, but man, that's a pretty big construction. I'll tell you what we should probably do, actually, is we should prioritize this bit and this bit. Because if we don't prioritize those bits, what's potentially going to happen is we'll end up with some beavers getting stuck back there. And I don't know if this game has any way to unstick them, so we'll do those bits first and just see how this ends up going. I know it's ridiculous. I know it's silly. I know it doesn't make sense. But I just want to do this. I just want to do it. It's dumb, but I just want to do it. I really do. It's so ridiculous. And I guess the good news is we'll have some bread or some flour in storage by the time this gets done. So, you know, give it a bit and we're going to have a whole bunch of bread getting made. I just hope that it gets done in a good amount of time, because I'll tell you something, plank production is rough. It's really rough. Actually, what do we need for this construction? Do we need gears for you? We do. We only need logs for the majority of this construction, though. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's turn off the gear workshops, because the main thing that we need are logs and planks, and most of this, oh wow. So with most of this only needing logs, a lot of this is getting built already. That's that's a little worrying. That's a little worrying, because it means, yeah, these guys, oh boy. Okay, I'll tell you what. Okay, we need to pause some of this construction right now, because if we don't, some guys are going to start getting stuck. So let me cancel the bakery, cancel you, and cancel you. And that way my beavers can still get underneath everything, just in case they need to. Because a lot of this is going to get built, you know, whether or not I prioritize other things or not. And that's okay. That's fine. This is ridiculous regardless. It's so dumb. This is so dumb. It's such a stupid thing that I'm doing. Because this is going to give me what? 9, 18. Oh God. This is going to potentially double my current housing capacity, isn't it? 9, 18, that'll be 27. And then these guys are what? 6, 12, 18, 24. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, we're doing some things right now for the population. This, this might be a terrible idea. Oh, no. And we've already got a lot of kids being born. We've already got 4 of them, so, I don't know about this. I don't know how I feel about this. I have a funny feeling we might need more. I'll tell you what. I think more haulers would be a bit of an idea. We probably don't. Well, actually, you know what? More builders, probably not a bad idea. Even though we don't have anyone, you know, we need another adult to work in there. But more builders, probably not a bad idea. Because, you know, they can come around and start working in all of this. But man, I'm just a little taken back by how quickly this has all come together. It's slightly surprising because I mean, of course it would. Of course it would. It's just, I can't believe this. I really can't. Oh no. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? It's not a good idea. Prioritize building by haulers. Yes. I like that that's an option. So I like that I can say to the haulers, hey, we kind of need, you know, logs being taken for plank production. That's good. That's a really good thing. Oh man. I don't know that what I'm doing is a good thing though. I really don't. This might horribly backfire. But you know what? We'll find out. That's kind of where I'm at. We're gonna find out. We're gonna see what happens. Oh boy. So how's this all going? You still need some planks. Still need planks. Just everything's gonna need planks, right? I wonder if I should get more lumber mills. Because we do have logs coming from up here now. So in theory, I mean, if those logs aren't just being taken straight to lumber mills, we should have a whole bunch of them going into storage from here soon. Which would be a good thing. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I am thinking though that food being kind of centralized right now might cause issues for guys working up here. I wonder if we want a quicker way to get down there. I don't know if we need it, but it might not hurt. That, or we just go into the warehouses and say that we want to block any food from going in there. Which we could do. We absolutely could do. And then create, you know, a large warehouse somewhere and have it be the one where all of the food ends up going. I don't know. I don't know if that's what we want to do either. I really don't. I'm trying to figure things out right now. Trying to figure out what the best options are going to be for this. Because this gives us 102 housing right now. We're not even done. We have 17 children right now. Oh boy. If anything, it's going to be, I think it's going to be more of a drain on the water than it is on anything else. Because here's the thing. Food is fine right now. We have a lot of berries, a lot of carrots, not that many potatoes, but the thing is that we have so much wheat in storage that we're going to get a lot of bread, hopefully quite quickly. Hopefully being the main word there. And actually thinking about it, if I went and put 2 bakeries down here instead of on top of that thing, it would probably, I was going to say it would make sense. Of course it would make sense. It doesn't make sense having bakeries up on top of this giant building. But then a tiny bit of my brain right now is like, well, you're right. It doesn't make sense. But there is an alternative way that you could not make sense. And that alternative way would be to go in and put a double lodge right there. It would be to go in and put a mirrored lodge right there. And that's great. That's a good start. But wait, there's more. We could do one of these lodges. Well, if I put it here, we'd need to fill up that gap, and I don't have anything to do that with. We could do 2 of these, actually. Right about there. I don't know about this. I do not know about this. We could do 2 of those. And actually, for my idea to work, my idea is not going to work. I was going to say we could do 2 bakeries on top of all of this, but I don't think we can. Well, Well, we can. We could if we wanted to. We would have to either use some platforms to build a little platform there. We could potentially do a small warehouse there, but we'd have to bring some platforms around, and I don't really feel like doing that. So I think what we're going to do is we're not going to subscribe to another one of my stupid ideas. We're just going to go with this stupid idea, which I think is about as stupid as I'm willing to go right now. But I could put more bakeries down here. I don't think we want 3 more down here. But at the same time, it's very, very tempting. It really is. It's very, very tempting. I mean, we could do 1 more, right? I mean, we could, what if we did another little bit of storage? What if we did this and this? And then I was to like throw a bakery here or there. I mean, we could. This is so stupid. I'm just having fun though, you know? It's so dumb, but I'm kind of enjoying just seeing what I can do right now. I've got to be honest. So that kind of works out. And what I could do actually is if I put some stairs there, we could actually get a little shrub here and have that shrub help these buildings out. That wouldn't be a bad idea. At least I don't think so. So what if I did it that way? And then the little decorative shrub just goes like here, maybe 2 of them just because I'm nice. I think that works. I think that's probably fine. It's ridiculous in every single way, but it does kind of look cool, you have to admit. As ridiculous as it is, it does kind of look kind of cool, right? It's a bit silly, but it's the right kind of silly. At least I think it's the right kind of silly. So I'm gonna say it's the right kind of silly. Let's just go ahead and, you know what? Let's prioritize the lower bakery for now. So let me prioritize all of this. So that gets done hopefully a little bit quicker than all of this, which means that in theory, we should be able to start making bread in a decent little bit of time. And we actually have enough gears in storage to make the bakery already, so we don't even need to turn on the gear workshops either, which is good because I wasn't really wanting to do that. So that's fantastic news. So hopefully this thing gets done. I mean, it just needs 1 more plank and then we build it. So any second now, we should have someone coming over to do. Oh no, it needed a few more planks. Never mind. I'm a bit of an idiot. But that should be absolutely easy to do. I'm also thinking we should probably turn the work days down. We're still in 20-hour work days or working hours. But my thinking on that is like, well, it's 20 working hours, but they don't work for 20 hours straight. So I don't know if that is a huge deal. What I do know is that we are already making bread. And that makes me really happy. Because that's going to be a wonderful thing for food. Also, we have 17 kids right now. Good Lord. That's, wait, Beaver is stranded. Oh, no. Oh, I knew that would happen. I bloody knew that would happen. Of course you are. How do I get you unstranded? I mean, I can't really, can I? Yep, silly sausage. I mean, I can. If I had dynamite, which is a thing that we can get in landscaping, if I had explosives, I'm sure I could blow up some terrain. But I mean, I don't I don't really know how to unstick you without just tearing down all of these buildings and wasting some resources. I'm not happy about this. I am most displeased at this little development right here. So what can I do about it? That's going to be the important question. What can I do about this? I don't really know, to be honest. Actually, I tell a lie. I think I do know what I can do. Get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. And then what we can do, I guess, is throw some platforms there. And I guess instead of having two buildings on top of each other, for here, we just go for a simple double lodge. Or even a triple lodge, actually, looking at it. If we did this, we could go and say, give me a triple lodge right there. And I guess that kind of works out. I guess that's kind of okay. It does mean I'm going to have to get rid of this little section of path, but that's all right. So just get rid of you. And that should mean that beavers can get under there and get unstuck without too much trouble, which they absolutely can do. So that works. And then on top of that, we are still going with the bakery because I've committed to this idea at this point and I'm 100% going to do it. So the bakery was originally going to be there. It's now going to be there. And what we can do is just extend a little bit of path. And that looks all right. It's a bit weird. It's a bit odd, but it'll work, I'm sure. I'm sure there's nothing bad going to come out of this ridiculousness and this very, very sudden increase in population. I'm sure that's not going to be bad for me at all. Absolutely nothing bad going to come out of any of this. Absolutely nothing. Although I'll tell you what I would like. Just because I can. I want more science. I don't know where I'm going to put the thing. I really should start investing in other districts, but I'm not going to do that yet. Just give me, I guess this thing could go like over here. Or it could go, I don't know, I guess over there. I guess over there is fine. We'll just go for that space. And that'll be a bit more science for the colony. But I like this. I like how quickly this all came together. I like that it wasn't really a complete slog to build this entire thing. It came together so much quicker than I thought it would, which that's what surprised me, is how quickly this actually worked out. And then these platforms coming together as well. It's kind of nuts. And then bread's already getting made. It's fantastic, honestly. I'm actually really genuinely quite pleased. And then this as well, 16 logs in there already. Having these dedicated haulers and dedicated builders is fantastic. It really is. Absolutely fantastic having those guys. And there we go. That thing's built already. So now it should just be the bakery needing materials. And that's going to be a bit of a struggle because we don't actually have the gears needed for it. So let's turn on one of the gear workshops. And that will slowly get us what we need. We've got another inventor right here, so that should be pretty good for science. Which we do need a lot of. Some of these guys, this 6x1 suspension bridge, 3,200 science. So it's not like I'm, you know, we need it, is what I'm getting at. Also, we could probably do with a little bit more wheat in some of those spaces right there, since we did lose some to the windmills. But this looks cool. I'm really happy with this. I've got to be honest. I'm actually really quite pleased with this. And then just one more gear and the second bakery is up and running, which is, I thought this was going to be one of those like, oh, we'll see how this turns out in the next episode. But no, this is like, this is kind of cool. It really is. And this is before, so here's an interesting detail about this game, right? You can obviously suck up water, right? But you can also dump water. So I'm not going to unlock it yet. I am going to unlock the large water tank though, because that's absolutely something we're going to want. Which, oh man, a large water tank on top of some of those buildings would look really cool. I've got to be honest. That would look really cool. It would look kind of awesome, actually. Oh, now. Now we're talking. I don't think we need... I don't think I need to do this, but I kind of want to go vertical. I really do. Oh no. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do here. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, because we do need some more storage. I'm gonna do a large warehouse right here, I think. Okay. Large warehouse right there. And I want a small warehouse right next to it. Just because it gives us kind of that nice base to build another large warehouse. Which, if I turn it that way, we can actually really easily connect to the existing system. Which would be kind of cool, actually. So maybe that's what we do. Maybe we build you there, and then on top of that, we do a large water tank. Ooh. Oh, I think so. Because here's the thing. I can do a little path right there and suddenly that's connected. And then just a little section of platform right there and suddenly that's connected. And that suddenly looks like a pretty good bit of storage. It's a bit messy looking. But this is starting to like... this is starting to come together the way I hoped it would. In a really messy, unnecessarily complicated kind of way. And I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. This is kind of nuts, but that'll be good. So that's going to be a heap more storage from the large warehouses, which need a lot of planks. We need a ridiculous number of planks for these, but that's fine. We can totally do it. Oh yeah, so I was right. We are actually running low on water. Okay. Okay, well that's fine. We can get more pumps, but, and this is a very big but, we have a drought coming in. And more pumps means that the water in the river for the duration of the drought is going to run out quicker. Oh boy. Okay. This rapid expansion might have just killed a lot of us. We might have a lot of beavers about to drop dead. Oh no.